day, everyone. Jerisha Hawk here. Welcome to the Hawk Hustle Morning Show. I hope you guys are having a great kickoff to your week. Today, we're going to be talking about what to do when things get hard and how you can and what we can do to stop giving up. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, what to do when things get hard and how to not give up, how to stop quitting right when we commit. And we're going to talk about what that looks like today. If you're new here, hello and welcome. My name is Jerisha Hawk. I am a high-ticket sales coach, business consultant for digital creators and experts. And I help individuals like you take the expertise and the skills you already have to package a service that you can sell consistently. So as you guys are popping on, feel free to say hey in the comments. Let me know you're here. I'm seeing Monique is on as faithfully as always. Shakitha's on. Patty Cake is on. Janessa, Chanel, Ivy. Hello, everybody. Hey, Ashley. So one thing I want to talk about, like I said, what to do when things get hard and how to not give up. I think this is something that comes up commonly, especially when we're growing our business, when we're trying to do new things, when we're looking to expand and evolve. There's this resistance that we typically we hit up against, right? You hit up against this resistance and it feels as if a lot of the time it's easier to just quit. It's easier to just give up. It's easier to just make an excuse as to why we can't keep going. And one thing that I'm noticing even within myself and just when I look at students who are in my program or clients that I have or prospective clients that I have, it's like you keep quitting and you quit the second, I'm talking about the individuals who not necessarily quit before they get started, but this is really geared towards those who once they've committed, then they quit. And I'm not sure if you guys can relate to that. Maybe you've committed to doing something in your life, committed to a new routine, committed to a new habit, committed to a new coach, committed to a new program, committed to a new idea, whatever it is. And then right after you take the first step after the commitment, so you show up, you do the thing, you start to do the thing, you're in progress of doing the thing, and then resistance gets really, really intense and you decide to quit. Or you question whether or not you should quit. And that thought of questioning gets so large and so big to the point where, it prevents you from moving forward. Can anybody relate to that? I think a lot of us, we've talked a bit about on the podcast, like what to do to get started. But what about for those of you who've already gotten started, you've already committed, and things are starting to get hard and you're ready to give up or you're ready to quit or you're thinking about it, that type of thing. And I think one thing I want us to understand and talk through today is real understanding that is normal and that is to be expected, but we need to be equipped with the tools and the know-how to make sure that we don't just stop there, that we keep going, we continue to move forward, and we don't just, you get what I'm saying? Like we don't just quit right when we feel that urge to. So I did do some research on this, looked up some articles in psychology today to get a better understanding of why we quit in the first place. But one thing I want us to make sure that we're all on the same page with is like, if you're only showing up for the things that are easy, you're not really fully showing up for yourself. You're not really being the best version of yourself and putting the best part of you out there. And so I want us to take a moment to do some self-inventory. And I think, like I said, a lot of the time, maybe we're good at getting started, but we're not good at following through. Maybe that's you. I don't know. But I want you to think about what are the things that you choose to commit to? Are you only committed to the things that are easy? Are you only committing to the things that you are naturally good at or that naturally feel simple for you to do because you've done it a million times before? Right? Like if you're only choosing to commit to the things that are easy and to the things that are simple and you wonder why your situation or your environment isn't changing, that's a huge reason why. Or are you only committing to things that aren't going to cause any challenges? Are you avoiding the challenges? Are you avoiding resistance? Are you avoiding the thing that you know you need to be doing and that the thing that you need to commit to because of that resistance? So do some self-inventory and really think about what are you choosing to commit to. And then when you, and this, like I said, I wanted to look up why we actually quit and what causes us to quit. And this is what Psychology Today had to say in one of the articles that I read. But it said that the idea to quit remains present in our minds as long as reasons to quit exist. So I'm going to say that again. The idea to quit, so just the thought of quitting, remains present in our minds as long as reasons to quit exist. So if you're constantly feeling or thinking that I need to give up, I'm ready to give up, this is just too hard, that thought or that idea of quitting only exists because you have reasons to quit. Like the reasons to quit exist. So I know this is something I feel every week when I go to the gym, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6:30 p.m. And I've removed so many barriers that should cause me not to have any issues with going to the gym, but yet still my brain and still I will come up with issues. So my gym is literally on the bottom floor of my building. So all I legitimately have to do is put on clothes, get on an elevator and walk like 10 steps to get to the gym. But in my brain, I'm having to create a new habit. I will still come up with reasons to quit, like, oh, I'm working. It's like, cause I go to the gym at 6:30 at night. It's like, oh, I'm still working. I need to finish up this assignment. That's an excuse for me not to go work out. Or that's really the only one I can make up a lot of the time that makes, I don't even say it doesn't make sense. But even when I get to the gym, so let's say I actually get there, I show up, which I have been doing. But then as I start to get through the workout, normally after the first or second rep of whatever the exercise is, I can start to feel the pain. And because I feel the pain, I start to tell myself, oh, this is too painful, I have to quit. Or when she tells us that we have to do 8 cals on the assault bike, I'm like, I'm going to just do 6. And I will literally just like start coming up with ideas and reasons as to why I need to quit. And the thing that I love about working out, besides the fact that it's like it allows me to be a healthier human being, is because the mental growth I'm able to do. Like every time I want to quit or shortchange, or like, oh, they told me to do this, but I'm going to just do this much because that's easier for me to do. I don't want, like, we need to start challenging ourselves to not just commit to what's easy, but we need to commit to doing the thing that's in best service of us. Like we need to commit to the thing that actually feels hard. So, instead of committing, saying, I should have hit the gym, but I'm going to just commit to only doing 10-pound dumbbells today. It's like, no, commit, like, if you're just getting started, like build that up. But I've been going to the gym for about a month, 3 days a week now consistently. I can do 15 pounds. I can do 25-pound wall balls or 25-pound like ball slams. Like I can, but I keep choosing to commit to what's easy. And I'm not sure, I'm just using myself as an example. Maybe you guys have an example of your own that relates for you, but I hope that this makes sense. So this is what Psychology Today, like I said, I'm going to finish the full phrase as to why we quit. So we can start to understand why we quit, and then we can start to peel back the layers on what we can do to prevent us from giving up so quick and so easily sometimes when things get hard. So the idea to quit remains present in our mind as long as reasons to quit exist. But the likelihood that we will quit only increases when we start to pay attention to them. And I think that is the key there. The likelihood that we will quit only increases when we start to pay attention to them. So when I shift, and I can feel it, like I know when I'm at the gym and I shift my focus to say, oh, I only can do this. And then if I just choose to marinate on that thought, right when I get to that threshold where I said I'm going to stop because this is where it's easy for me to quit, I notice the resistance just gets even higher. Versus, like, Jay, yeah, you feel this resistance, but like keep going. It's because we choose to pay attention to those reasons or excuses that we came up with. So now that we understand why we quit, we can now start to take some control back over what we do to prevent that from happening. And I think we talk a lot about consistency. And I know a lot of you have expressed to me that you lack consistency. And one thing that I'm learning time and time again, and I think that we have to shift our perspective on how we view consistency, is that you don't just wake up one day and now you're immediately consistent, right? Like I consistently now go to the gym, but like I wasn't able to gain or to be able to make that statement until after going to the gym 3 times a week, 5 weeks in a row. So like you become consistent after a few failed attempts of trying. And I think that's like one we need a hashtag Jerisha said on, like, and that we need to really make sure that we understand how like so many people say, I'm not consistent. And you continue to make excuses as to why you can't develop the habit, or why you choose to always quit right after you invest in yourself, or why you always choose to stop reading the book after after you've read the first paragraph, or why you choose to drop out of a program, or never log back in, like never go back to class after you've done the first module. Like, you become consistent after a few failed attempts of trying. You have to, like, you still have to get up and do it every day before you become consistent at it. So I know I see Monique right now, and I saw Ashley here on the live stream. They're both members of Services That Sell. And typically our students, right when they go through module 1, there's a ton of resistance, because that's the module where you learn how to actually package your offer and package your expertise. And it stretches you. Like, I think a lot of the time people who join Services That Sell, they've hired other coaches before, they've been in other programs before, and they've been introduced the idea of picking a niche and coming up with a problem to solve, but it's very surface level. And when you get into module 1 of Services That Sell, like, we cut through all the fluff and the fun, busy, cute work, and like we make you drill down. And if you enroll in Services That Sell, part of my responsibility and part of our team's responsibility is to not let you sit at the surface level. So a lot of the time students will enroll and they will give some surface level response in regards to what their niche is, or what the problem that they solve is, or what their signature service is. And part of my investment to you, being committed to the investment that you make in our program, is that I'm not going to let you just play at surface level. Like, I'm going to keep asking questions to make you drill down deeper and deeper. Like, and that's my responsibility. That's what you enrolled and what you invested in, was to get a result. And in order for you to get a result, we have to get you beneath surface level. Like, we need to get you to the root of what's really going on and what offer you're really selling. And like, there's no fluff whatsoever. So like, and a lot of people, right when about a week into the program, 2 weeks into the program, like as they're finishing up module 1 or really digging into module 1, there's always a ton of resistance. That's the moment where, if we ever have refund requests, that's the moment where people try it. And it's our responsibility to remind them at like why they joined in the first place. Like, I know that you're scared right now. I know that there's resistance right now. I know that it feels uncomfortable right now, but like, in order for you to get the results that you want in your business, in order for you to get the transformation that you want to help your clients get with, I need you to just keep going. Like, I'm not going to let you play surface level. And if you want a coach that's just going to sugarcoat it, I'm not the one. I'm not the one. And we try to make this clear. Like, y'all like giggle and laugh that I snatch edges on live streams. Like, imagine what we do inside of Services That Sell. Like, scalps get removed. Like, because I want the best for you. I want, I can see, it's hard for you to see your own blind spots. And that's what our responsibility is, mine and our student success specialist, and even our business manager pops in the Facebook group from time to time. But we want to make sure that you are not just playing at the surface level. Like, for you to get results, we need to get to the root. And that means that in order for you to succeed, I need you as a student to be consistent in showing up. Even when you fail, even when it's tough, even when it's overwhelming, I need you to still keep going and keep going. And I need you to like, okay, Jay's telling me to do this. This is what the process says. This process has worked for everybody else. I'm not some special unicorn. This process can work for me. I just need to keep working the process. And it's just like going to the gym. The first time they show up to the gym, when they enroll in Services That Sell, they look at everybody else like kind of moving more fluidly. They have the routine down. They have a rhythm down. They're just trying to gain the rhythm. I need you to keep coming to class. I need you to keep watching the modules. I need you to keep trying out and testing the growth assignments. I need you to keep asking for feedback. And that is when you become consistent after a few failed attempts of trying, right? So you're not going to get it on the first time. And I know I see Daniela's on right now. of professional speaker websites. And you guys, we have a new episode coming out with her very soon over on the podcast. But one thing that she mentioned is like, she's implemented the services at Sell process more than once. And I think that's where our students get really the best results. Like, it's not just like, this is the first time I did it and I knocked the ball out of the park. Like, the first time you do it, you might just get on first base. That is progress though. And then if you do it again, maybe you get to third, and then you do it again. And that's when you really hit the home run, and really when you catch your stride, right? But in order for you to gain that consistency and having a healthy stride and being able to get consistent results in your business, you have to first build up momentum. And in order for you to build up momentum, you have to choose to start running. And when you choose to start running for the first time, when you're not doing it fluff, like, and you're not playing at the surface level, and you're really doing it like going all in, you're going to fall, you're going to stumble, like you're going to trip over your feet, like, because you're still trying to get your steps down. But that's okay. And that is normal. And that is to be expected. Like, it should feel hard. If somebody comes into my program and they feel no level of discomfort within the first 3 weeks, like, something's off. And I think the reason being is because they either aren't digging in deep enough. Like, they're playing at surface level, even though we're calling them to go deeper. They're not going all in. So you should feel the resistance, and it should feel hard. But then you have to choose to not give up. You have to choose to not quit on yourself. And you have to choose not to go, like, I think the most detrimental thing when it comes to business is because so many of us are looking for this cookie cutter curriculum and this cookie cutter routine. Because like normal school, like if you just do all these classes and get good grades, you'll get a good job and make good money. And while that isn't even fully true in like normal life, that works out for a percentage of folk, but definitely not for everybody. Business is like nothing like that. I mean, I think that you can follow a recipe and start to get some results, but no matter what, like, everybody's situation is going to be a bit different. And there is no like just surefire, if I do this, then I get X. Like, you do want to follow a process and follow somebody else who's already gotten the results that you want, because it will get you a lot closer, quicker, faster. But like business, there is like, so the thing I think, the point I was trying to make, I think the thing that is most detrimental is when people enroll in a course or hire a coach and it's hard for them, they will quit and then go hire somebody that is subpar because it's easy. And they will go enroll in another program that is simpler. And I don't say simpler, but that's easier because it just lets you play at surface level. And then you wonder like why. I've been investing in my business. I've hired numerous coaches. I've purchased numerous courses. Like, I've taken tons of classes, but yet my business is not growing. And it is because you keep investing in things that keep you safe and that are easy for you. And that is probably the most detrimental thing. And I think like, even when I think about the gym reference, like, if I were to go sign up for Planet Fitness, no shade on anybody else who goes to Planet Fitness, but if I were to go to Planet Fitness and not have an instructor to not give me a routine, I would say I'd go to the gym and I could probably go consistent, but it wouldn't be like a good workout, right? Like, it wouldn't be a good workout. Like, I would go and probably like run on the treadmill for 12 minutes, maybe do some sit-ups and be like, oh, I went to the gym today. And like, I did go, and like, yeah, I could probably do that more consistently. But like, that's not really what I'm here for. Like, Jay is trying to get snatched. Okay. I'm trying to have thunder thighs. Like, I'm trying to have like waist like when I walk down, and I'm doing this for a year out. Like, my wedding is not until next year, but I'm trying to get, I'm trying to be summertime fine this year and next year. Like, I don't want to just go for the sake of saying that I went. Like, I want to be challenged when I work out. I want my body and my muscles to like get stronger. And so it's like, you can do the thing that's hard, which going to XFit, which is like a simpler version of CrossFit or like I can go work out at Planet Fitness and do that. But like, I know that I'm not, like, I don't know how to develop my own workout routines. I know that I don't do really, I know I don't push myself hard when I'm just working out like by myself. So like, are you going to choose to do the thing that's easy and just be committed to things that are easy for you to do, and you keep enrolling and signing up for things that are easy for you? Or are you going to choose to not give up and really do the thing that you know is going to be of best benefit to you? right? And that's a choice you get to make. And I think that's it, what we need to continue to work through as we are growing and expanding, especially when it comes to investing in our business. Because there's so many times, and I'm going to say this again, you become consistent after a few failed attempts of trying. So the caveat here is you have to keep choosing to come, keep choosing to show up, and you may quit today. You may say, you know what, this is all I got today. I'm done. I quit. But then I need you to recommit tomorrow. And that is, I think, that's where the success happens. That's where the magic happens, is you may quit today and you may quit at point 2 or point 3, but then tomorrow when you wake up, I need you to recommit again and either get back to the point that you left off or just get 1 point further. The whole consistency is about repetition. It's about repeating the same actions over and over and over again, gaining feedback, meaning that you're not going to be perfect out of the first time that you do it, gaining feedback on those actions that you just took, adjusting and pivoting. So there's going to be some rework that has to happen in order for you to build that consistency, and then adjusting along the way so you can stay on track as you move towards your goals, right? So consistency is not just this thing that once I commit once, now I'm consistent at doing it. No. You have to choose to be consistent. I think another reason why people lack consistency and why they give up when things get hard is because they are not focused. You have got to be focused on a granular activity. You need to be focused on a specific outcome. And if you try to be focused on a million different things, no wonder you're not able to gain any momentum. No wonder why you quit when things get hard, because you don't have a singular focus, right? You don't have focus on the thing that you actually want to do. And you're expecting, because you lack that focus, if you don't get immediate results from your actions, you end up you see no point in continuing. So then because you don't have focus on what the end goal is in the long haul. So then you quit, right? So it's important for you to have and maintain focus. And have focus on a singular specific thing, and then be committed to doing that thing until you until you build the consistency at accomplishing it, right? I love this. Unfocused consistency is just BS and busy work. And if that's not facts, it is so true. Again, the habit of consistency and the habit of continuing to move forward when it feels hard is not about obtaining quick results. So if you commit to something and it's okay, I'm going to go work out, and because I go to the gym the first day, my body is about to fall apart. I can't even walk back to the elevator. And I didn't get quick results. The habit of consistency is not about obtaining quick results. It's about making incremental progress, those micro wins that we've been talking about, and improvements over an extended period of time. And this is why when people enroll in services I say, give this 90 days. Even when it comes to niching down, so many people struggle with, how do I pick my niche? I'm not asking you to be married to your niche. I'm asking you to date it for the next 90 days and see how things feel. And then after 90 days, after you've done your lean launch, after you've evaluated your lean launch, then we can evaluate what actions took place. We can offer some feedback on where you need to make some adjustments, and then you can tweak it. That's your success in business is all about your ability to be able to pivot and how buoyant you are. I think that's what everything boils down to. Are you willing to keep going once you fall? How quickly do you bounce back, and are you willing to bounce back? So yes, like I said, you may quit today, but how long does it take you to bounce back and start again? If it takes you another year, we got to work on your buoyancy. We want to be able to bounce back the next day, and you'll get so good to a point where you will quit now, and then 15 minutes later, you start back again. And that's something that you build. That's a muscle that you build up. But we have to stop quitting just because things feel hard, and we have to stop only committing to the things that are easy. We don't want to allow quitting one day to stop us from going back the next, right? So I hope this is speaking to you. I hope there's a nugget in this that you have been able to gather, and that you can really apply to whatever your situation is. But remember why you started in the first place. And especially for those of you guys who are listening right now and you're in services that sell, go back to your pre-work. You know, I ask you questions about why did you join and how does it feel right now before you get started for a reason. I want us to have a reference point to remind you of why you enrolled in the first place. Like, why are you embarking down this journey on the first place? Because like it will get hard and it will feel uncomfortable, but we need to make sure that we remain consistent and focused on why you started this journey in the first place. Because there was a specific result that you were looking to obtain. And if you quit now, you're robbing yourself of the opportunity of ever achieving that result, right? And we don't want to be robbing ourselves of that opportunity. We want to be investing in ourselves and doing whatever is necessary for us to move forward and get the thing that we say that we wanted, so we can be a biggest service to those that we've been called to be of service to. So that's what I really wanted to share with you guys. And I see a couple questions popping in the comments right now. So if you do have any questions around this topic that you want me to answer, feel free to just pop them in the comments below. So let me see. I think I see one. So Ultra Marie said, why did you decide to go into business and why did you leave your previous career? I can't read the rest of this question. What was your whatever? This has definitely been like an evolving thing in regards to what my why is and like what my calling has been. It's been something that's evolved over the years. But the biggest reason why I decided to go into business was because the type of change I wanted to see happen in my corporate environment, I couldn't create that change. So I've said, if I can't create the change that I want to see here, like how can I create it on my own? Or where else can I go create that change? So like the biggest thing for me, you know, being a Black female engineer, I'm in a 1% in the country. So if you are a female, if you're of a minority descent, you are literally in the 1% of engineers. Like there's only 1% of us that exist in the country with an engineering degree. So I knew that when I went into corporate, I wasn't going to see a ton of people who looked like me. I was already aware of that. But like, as I was afforded a ton of opportunities, you know, and I definitely positioned myself to be, to earn those opportunities time and time and time again. But as I continued to get access to opportunities and get a seat at the table and have to be in the rooms, I was far too often the only one. And quite honestly, I got tired of people being surprised that I was there. Like, you know, when I was 25, I had got promoted and I was running a $400 million pipeline project. I was the lead engineer on that project. And, you know, it was just, as you're hiring contractors and paying these invoices, like I got sick and tired of people being surprised that I was there. Like, oh, like, or whenever I told anybody that I had an engineering degree, because of how I may have looked or because of how they may have perceived me, it's like, wait a minute, you're an engineer? Wait a minute, you're the lead on that project? Like, wait a minute. I was tired of people being so shocked, and I knew I wasn't the only dope one in the organization. There were so many other amazingly talented people of color and women that like were just as equipped and skilled to be in the role. But like, I was just trying to figure out what made me different. Like, why was I able to get there and somebody else wasn't? So I started getting really involved in diversity and inclusion initiatives. I started doing live streams on Facebook, just kind of sharing what had worked for me. And the thing that I realized, and the thing that like, kind of the bigger mission as to why I'm here, is because there is a huge pay gap. So there's just lack of opportunity when it comes to income earning potential and title, role, and position earning potential, right? And I was like, listen, in order for me to climb this corporate ladder and for me to make the change that I want, that's a route that I can take. Like I can go down, I know how. Like I'm learning how, and I think that I'm capable enough to get to the C-suite. But then I started thinking about my income, and this was really the defining moment for me. I was in a performance review with my supervisor, and you know, he was just reading off all my accolades. Like I had come prepared with all the results that I had done that previous year in the organization, and he was like, you know, you really exceeded expectations. You're going to get a raise larger than most. And I had got like a 3.25% raise. And pretty much anything above like a 2.7 or a 3% annual raise was like a more than normal at my company. And I ran back over to my desk. I was so excited. I pulled out my calculator and figured out how much was this raise going to be. And it was like an extra $67 a week on my paycheck before taxes. And based off the goals I had for my life, I was like, bruh, if this is exceptional, me getting a 3.25% raise, how long, like, and I really started doing the numbers. Like I really started, okay, I started with like, how much am I going to get an extra a week? And then I'm like, how much is that extra a month? And then I'm like, how much is that extra a year? And then I'm like, okay, if I can just maintain this trajectory, like, well, okay, maybe next year I get like a 5% raise, or like, I don't know. I'm just trying to calculate all these numbers. And I'm like, it'll take me a lifetime to ever hit like the income goal that I want to achieve. And I was like, bro, I don't know about this. I don't know about this. And then I was like, if I have to be a VP in order for me to make like multi six figures at the level, at like the income goal that I wanted to make. And then I'm like, if I ever want to become a millionaire, I'm going to need to be a VP at a company that offers good stock options. Like I was just going through all these options. And that's when I really, like at that point, when I had that performance review with my boss, I had been working on my business for about 10 months. And those first 10 months of me just trying out business was tough. Like it was a struggle. I was investing money and losing. I don't want to say losing money, but I was just learning the ropes of what it would take to build a digital business, an online business. And that was the moment where I said, Jay, I've been doing this for 10 months. Is this going to be some hobby or some cute thing that you do? Or are you like committed to making money off of it? Like, are you going to treat this, are you going to stop treating your side hustle like a side hustle and like act like a real business? And when I started calculating those numbers about how much my raise was going to be, I'm like, nah, ain't no way I'm about to be sitting here like happy that I can afford to go to Olive Garden once a week extra. Like there's no, I want more. I want more. So all of those things kind of compounded, like, and I really do believe that entrepreneurship is the bridge to economic equalization. Like the reality is there is a gender gap, pay gap in this world. There is a pay gap based off of what ethnic background you have, but I do believe that entrepreneurship is the even playground. And I do believe that we all have the skill, and in today's day and age, because of the technology that exists, all of us have the opportunity to make as much money as we want to make if you choose to like do the work and figure it out. So that's what I believe. And so that's when I got serious about my business. And I started making intentional investments in the right coaches, and I started doing the work, and I started, I remember time and time again, I was in a very cheap apartment, and like, it wasn't the hood, but like, it was like borderline, like it was like the step up from the hood. I lived in a 2-bedroom apartment that was $600 a month. Like, where can you live anywhere in a 2-bedroom apartment for $600 a month? Like it was like it wasn't like a terrible neighborhood. Like it was safe, but it was a bit shady, and I was just like, I'm going to be committed to just making intentional sacrifices. Like my 20s are going to be years of intentional sacrifices. But the goal back then, I was like, just be for 3 years, Jay, make intentional sacrifices, live well below your means. Like, I did not have a car note. I still don't have a car note. I lived I downgraded my apartment so I could save more money, so I could use that money to invest in my business. Every moment of time that I had, the commutes to and from work, I was listening. If I hired a coach, I was listening to the coaching calls, and I was re-listening to the coaching calls. I was listening to podcast episodes. Like I would spend my commute ride doing sales calls, talking to my mastermind sisters. Like I took advantage of every moment of time I had available. I woke up an hour early to work on my business before I went to work. I ate on my lunch break, but my lunch break also included me responding to emails or doing live streams. My evenings were the exact same. My weekends were the exact same. Like I would go to church on Sundays. I'd bring my laptop and my notebooks. Right after church, I'd go to a coffee shop. Like every moment of time I had, I committed. But I kept telling myself, these are short-term sacrifices for long-term gain. Like, Jay, this is what an investment looks like. Time, energy, commitment, money, like, not being able to go out. Like, and I don't say not being able to, I chose not to go out. Like I chose not to buy new clothes. I chose not to get my nails done for like 3 years. I chose not to get my lashes done. I chose not to indulge in like luxuries of life, because I'm like, these are short-term sacrifices for the long-term gain. And I'm so thankful to my younger self every single day, because all the decisions that she made over those last few years have afforded me the lifestyle that I have today, have afforded me to have like the mental capacity to be in a healthy, loving relationship with my fiance, have afforded me the opportunity to have worked with over 200 women in a more intimate environment. Like we've probably had over 500 sales total in business, but I've been able to work more intimately with over 200 women. And like, think about that. That's 200 women that I've been able to help their business grow. That's 200 women that I've been able to help their income increase. That I know for a fact I know for a fact the 200 women I've worked with, that's millions of dollars of income earned that otherwise may not have been earned. Like, when you really think about, why am I doing this, right? Like, why am I focusing on trying to figure out how to package my service? And like, golly, it is hard. Or why am I trying to figure out how to nail these sales calls? Like, it is too difficult. I don't want to put myself out there. Like, you have got to get out of the short term and stop thinking about these quick wins and stop thinking about your comfort today and think about what's possible for you tomorrow and what's possible for you 6 months from now, a year from now. And not just for you and for your family and for your family, but think about all the other people that you are meant to serve and that you're meant to help. And now you're robbing them of their blessing being answered because you chose to quit. Like, and that's just not something so that's really why I started my business. I really do believe that entrepreneurship is the bridge to economic equalization. I believe that if you are in an organization or you are in some place where you keep running against a glass ceiling, in regards to what your income potential is, I feel that you can go build your own building and not have to experience a glass ceiling at all, that you have the capacity to earn as much money as you want to earn. I do believe that that's possible and available to all of us. And I really do. Like, that dollar amount is going to look different for every one of us individually, but I believe it's available. And even if you choose not to quit your job, because I don't believe everybody should quit and go full-time in business, you may not have the opportunity to make the impact that you want to make at your organization. And that for me was also true. Like, I knew that I wanted to help uncover and remove the unique barriers that people of color and women faced. And I wasn't able to do that in the capacity that I wanted to at my 9-to-5. So my business gave me the outlet to have the impact that I wanted to have. And even though I loved my job, I loved my career. And it was a very tough decision to leave because I actually enjoyed the work that I did. The work that I did was super fulfilling. It paid well. I loved my coworkers. Like, I was being mentored. Like, everything I wanted, I had. But there was one piece of impact that I wanted to make that I couldn't see a way to make it my job. So I decided to do it in my business. And we have many students who enroll in services that sell that have no aspiration of quitting their job, but they have their business so they can make the impact that they want to make. And you can do both. And I think you can do both well, do both successfully, and make money from doing both. So that's really why I started my business and why I'm here today, and why I do what I do. So there's that. Great question. Okay. Somebody asked another question of, when you're speaking of high ticket, are they 3K or more? For our students and services that sell, when I say high ticket, our students are enrolling clients anywhere from $1,500 to about $14,000 per client on average. So when I say high ticket, I really mean 4-figure, and I mean multi 4-figure. So $1,500, $2,000 to around the $12,000 to $15,000 mark is what I mean when I say high ticket, versus selling low ticket offers. And what I mean by low ticket are either like single, double, or triple digits. And I look at high ticket as 4 digits, 4, 5, 6 digits. So that's what I mean by that. So thank you guys for tuning in. I know some of you guys are like, okay, how do I get started? What is the beginner steps that I need to take to start selling high ticket services, packaging a high ticket offer? I have put together a mini course for you guys. It's called Sales Made Simple. If you visit jerishahawk.com/start, you can enroll in that mini course for free. It's a 3-part, video training series, and it really help you get the beginning phases of what business model should you focus on, how to really identify what your signature service should be, and how to take those first steps in being able to package your offer. So if you visit jerishahawk.com/start, you can get that mini course for free. But I really hope today's message was inspiring, motivating, and encouraging for you, that when things get hard, that is not the time to give up. And that in order for you to develop consistency, it's through acts of repetition. And to become consistent, you become consistent after a few failed attempts of trying. So even if you quit, even if you stumble, we need you to recommit tomorrow, start again tomorrow, so you can start to gain the consistency that you want, build the momentum that you desire, so you can ultimately start to get the results that you want to be experiencing on a more regular basis. So hope this was helpful for you guys. If it was, as always, screenshot this, tag me on Facebook, tag me on your stories. Let's get ready for a photo op. Okay. Tag me on your stories, tag me on your timeline, tell me what your takeaway was, and I will see you guys tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the Hawk Hustle Morning Show. Bye, guys.